It seems to me ni kama we live in a world that is optimized for noise. There's just a lot of noise. Day in, day out, it could be endless notifications, endless scrolling. I mean, there's just so much noise that deciding to sort of sit in stillness is something that we just don't do. And it's not like all these distractions are accidental. They're really not accidental. They're cultural, they're economical, especially if you're talking about economical, the whole thing about the hustle culture. Day in, day out, ni kutafuta.
Responsibilities.
Responsibilities. But sometimes if you're told to do something like meditation or to journal, actually someone has ever told me that is laziness. That is laziness. So, but as I was preparing this episode, the words of Blaise Pascal, that guy who came up with the understanding of the binomial and polynomial expressions, such things. He said that all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit alone quietly
and be still
in a room and think alone.
Some say it's through sitting still, it's like you come in phase of yourself.
Yes, that is something that we just can't do. We just can't do. So I was thinking to myself, even as we were preparing for this episode, when was the last time you were able to sit in stillness? To just be still. You're not doing anything. To just be still.
For me, as a person, in my personal life, actually told you it's quite coincidental that recently I've been practicing being still through meditation. And it's like just got to a point in my life I was like, whatever I'm doing or whatever I'm pursuing, just noise.
Sometimes I still, even in the whole concept of being still and meditation, and sometimes I normally ask myself, what exactly does being still mean? How do we define that?
For me, I define it as it's like you're being an observer of everything that you do.
You just observe.
Yeah, you just observe.
Nothing else.
Yeah, nothing else.
And shouldn't the observation lead you to?
No, as in the intent of it. Yes, it should lead you to something, but don't observe with an intention of it leading you to somewhere or pointing you to a certain direction. It's like your intuition your motive will be skewed to like searching for answers, and you'll go again to that maze of let's say working many.
Let's talk about observation.
It's like Bruce Lee says in martial arts that you should be like water. See the characteristics of water. It's like it embodies, it takes shapes of everything and everything that you do. There is no one, how do you call it? One definitive
of water.
Now I equate it to like being the observer of your life. I'm observing what you're doing. You're not, it's like you don't have any motive. That
is interesting. So you shouldn't sort of approach stillness or meditation
with a motive,
an intention, or so it's just a moment to just
be.
To just be.
Now be in the moment.
Let's ask in terms of so what exactly are you observing in these
Yourself.
moments of stillness.
Yourself.
So what exactly about yourself are you observing? Can you give us maybe from a personal perspective?
For me, I'd say the thing that you're majorly observing is the conditioning of your life.
The condition of your life.
Yeah, it's
what
like-
exactly about the condition of your life?
Do you get to choose, or whatever you're doing, is it your main choosing or is it your will? Let's say today I woke up, resumed in my normal day-to-day activities. Did you choose to do the let's say if the responsibilities, let's say I didn't need any money, will I still have chosen to do whatever I'm doing? Yeah, if you ask yourself such questions, the answers which you might get quite zinaweza kuwa shocking sana. Because money aside, maybe I don't love whatever I'm doing. Yeah.
Okay.
Or rather, the chase of money, maybe if it were put aside, ama miraculously ningekuja niambiwe your life is set and you no longer need to work for money, whatever society ama whatever I've come to know as things that I should do, they don't have meaning. Because I just did whatever I was doing for money. But now money aside, they seem that the motive is gone.
Okay.
Let me ask you, as a person, have you ever been in a moment where you're like, you're just tired of this maze of unaamka job, you're just taking care of things?
I think the average human being always has those kinds of moments. And I'll tell you for sure, I think for the last, say, one year,
Yeah.
I've been in this phase where it's as if there's something that is beckoning to me. There's just something that I don't really understand. Because I think I'm past. Not that I'm past. I feel it's as if I'm in this phase where I will just do it for the sake of interacting with another human being.
Yeah.
If I'm to be very honest, I can tell you it's not that I love what I'm doing, but that is not to imply that I do not love what I do. That is not
But
to imply that, but I'm saying it seems to me I'm not after doing things for impact. I know this is gonna sound so bad, but I'm not doing things for impact. I'm not doing things for money. I'm not doing things to sustain myself. Because it feels ni kama without those things.
Can we say that our need, not the words which I'm using, our need for safety in money, our need for impact, our need for anything, for us to leave a legacy, no, the things that primarily are bringing about these motivations that we have,
I believe
at
so.
the root of our drive.
I believe so. Actually, I was trying to paint the picture of it seems to me Nikama there is a deliberate effort to sort of direct our lives towards a certain mode of being.
Yeah.
All right. So paint a picture from when you were a child. It seems to me Nikama, from being a child, you go to school. Start at kindergarten.
You didn't choose school.
And you didn't. Hey, it's not like you had a choice.
Yeah.
But so you go to school, kindergarten. You are now initiated into religion, whatever religion means, or whatever the society has interpreted as religion.
I want us to pay, as you tell the story, I want us to paint this picture of you going to school, the religion which you fall into, none of were your choice because you're born into it.
Yes. So you go to school, you attend church, As you're growing, you meet all these people, you're so playful, etc. Fast forward primary school, fast forward secondary school. The expectation is, it's as if there's certain expectations with this kind of a transition from one societal activity to another.
Yeah.
So after secondary, the expectation is that you should go to campus. After campus, you should get a job. After getting a job, you should marry. After marrying, keep pursuing your career.
Yeah.
Education doesn't stop. Keep doing PhDs and stuff like that. Do work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it seems to me, Nikama, the more you think about these transitions that society is sort of directing our focus towards, a time comes and if it occurs to you, Nikama, there's nothing else to pursue beyond that.
Yeah. I remember Peter Thiel says that he actually implores people to stop thinking of their lives as these lines of CV that
yes,
after getting your undergraduate,
yes,
go get this certification, go get a master's. You see, it's like you're just conforming to what society has laid for you.
But what option is there? What option is there?
Then there is this side, the people who rebel it. Most of them who end up it's like they're how do we call them? How do we term them? It's like they're rebels of the society.
Karma. And what exactly about their actions could tell us that they truly rebelled against the social construct?
Back in the days, let's say people were joining campus, it was that time. Then just one of your friends comes and say, mimi nataka kuwa msanii. I want to pursue something other than what's laid by the society for me. Most of them are viewed as anti-society, kituka hiyo, and they are viewed as
radicals.
Radicals. You ain't playing
by the book.
Yeah, and you don't have a future.
But again, assuming society was formed in such a way that allowed, for example, in education, that society was formed in such a way that it allowed for people to pursue maybe what they feel like doing.
Yeah.
Didn't you think that it could have been the same social constructs parallel to whatever society has built us to do? Because nowadays, I think in first world countries, yes, you're allowed to do whatever, but still, this thing, let me call it, it's very philosophical, that is shaping you or directing you towards
something.
Because I don't think,
for me,
I don't think there's any difference between what the society has laid since time immemorial to the allowance.
Actually, you see the shift. It's like there is this but they say it's like through you rebelling, you recreate whatever you're fighting.
Do you really recreate? Or you recreate whatever you're fighting?
Yeah.
True. Exactly my point.
Yeah.
Exactly my point. So sometimes I normally ask, sometimes I also normally ask, ukiangalia, especially from the Renaissance period, so this period of enlightenment, where scientific thought was very popular. Literally speaking, that is the foundation of the world we know today. Sometimes I normally ask, all these inventions that were made, weren't there other kinds of inventions that mankind could have? Because unapata all these inventions ndio tuko nazo sahi, electricity, talk about mobile phone, easing communication and stuff. So mi ujiuliza, hakunge kuwa na vitu zingine zenye zingekuwa invented other than those. Unaona? What I'm trying to say is, tunasemanga that technology is linear. For example, what exists now didn't exist some 200, 300 years ago. Unaona? Like unapata saizi, we claim that we are at the peak of civilization. Unaona? But so I'm asking, is there another reality other than what
But
we see now?
Kaliang has ever coined that he actually predicted. Maybe I'm quoting him wrong, but I guess I'll be corrected. He said, "Stop the bias of modern man is thinking that through cause he's advanced, ameendelea sana." As in, let us, through his advancements in technology, medicine, he thinks that he is superior to our previous ancestors.
Actually, that was Robert Greene, The Laws of Human Nature.
Also, Kaliang has ever coined such a phenomena, so that he says that, yes, he thinks that the modern man is advanced prior to his ancestors, but yet he's so close to his primitive being.
Yes, we think that we have, Robert Greene puts it this way, we think that we have moved well past our primitive roots. Na alafu anasema, never have we been so wrong. And by ignoring this fact, we are playing with fire.
Remember earlier on, I think it's a revelation which came to us that through rebelling, we also recreating.
Yes, the very things that we are fighting.
That's so powerful, manze.
Because kusema tu kweli, if you try to think of another kind of a reality than the one that we have. So for example, we have developed ways of communication through technology, mobile phones and laptops and internet and stuff like that. But I'm asking, is there another way that we could have probably invented that was totally different from what we know now? Is there another way of communicating
that could have not led to whatever
mobile phones or internet and stuff like that? Is there other ways? Are there other ways? Something else. Yeah, something else. Could there have been other ways, other systems of leadership and governance other than what we know as democracy and stuff like that? And maybe the way I'm approaching it is flawed or biased, but I'm truly asking from a point of why do we cling onto the systems that we have developed as the absolute truth? Why do we cling onto them? And yet we can make the claim that they have been our very undoing.
Maybe it's our nature to run from the truth.
Sorry?
It's our nature to run away from the truth. What I'm trying to mean is, through us not being able to face our souls, we run for these structures to save us.
Yes, to say true. And again, now it's focusing it to the point I'm trying to make, yeah? Because still in a world full of noise, a lot of distraction, you see, these very systems, they are systems that are for example, anti-stillness, anti-meditative.
Yeah.
Because we can't say we live our lives through being still.
Please,
do you want to tell?
Let me interject you. Before we started, Samaritan alisema, how is it come vile Jesus ndo alikuwa na bishana na the then church of the then days?
Yes.
How is it that this savior,
Jesus, was a rebel?
But there is a special kind of rebelling that he did that I've come to imekuja to my realization that there is a way to rebel without being rebellious.
What do you mean?
There is a way to disagree without becoming disagreeable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's like,
we'll give an example of a way that you can rebel without being rebellious.
There is this guy who anaitwa Roy Masters teaches about how through stillness you can let the other person, let's say we are arguing, through stillness, I can sort of, it's like I'm pointing out my points without the need of kutaka kukinitagwaje words inanipotea, without the need ya kukubash. I can let's say you're angry, I can let you let out that anger out and me still be still and not get irritated by it. You see, it's like
Yes.
I'm not reacting to whatever you're saying.
Yes, you're not reacting.
And
And that
then-
is exactly what happens nowadays in discourse. I
Yeah.
think PSCC, we've been in those kinds of scenarios.
Can you say it's through noise that we disagree and never get a hold of what the other both parties truly want to intend to mean? Can we term that as noise?
Yes.
That it's like the mind always wants to be involved in an activity.
Yes, that is true. But then again, so let me use the point that you've just made to further explain something I really think about. So, for example, you've said that, okay, your claim, if I'm getting this right, it's as if the whole point of conversation is not really to maybe bash someone, is not maybe to try to prove a certain point, but it's to simply allow someone to explain what they actually meant, what the whole point of engaging in that argument or discourse was all about. Allow me, yeah? But again, I'm asking, do you want to tell me that the whole point of conversation is to simply give out your ideas and that's just that? So maybe that's a level of the whole point of conversation, where you get to listen to someone else, where you get to allow them to speak their mind, to speak their hearts and stuff like that, because that is truly how you can get to know someone. But then again, there are other levels, higher levels of conversation that should always, it seems to me that conversation should always lead us to an understanding of what truth actually is.
So can we paint the picture that as long as our conversation isn't leading us to a point of understanding, there is no communication taking place or happening between the two parties?
Think more often than not, that should be the case. Should. But that's not the case, but it should be the case. I think even small talk, not only you've just met someone somewhere, you're trying to get to know them. I mean, you can't just tell me that. Just go know someone. What do you do? What kind of work are you doing? What are you in pursuit of and stuff? There's something more that we can train ourselves to. Not only kukue intentional about truly knowing how someone thinks, how they express themselves. I think that could be a guiding factor to being intentional in conversation.
I have a question. This is quite interesting. Can you get to really understand how the other party thinks without them ever mentioning the intentions to you?
I see where you're getting at, but also I don't think you knowing what the other person intends
I've
mean.
not used the word no. Understand.
No, I'm saying you even understanding what the other person is thinking of or intends to say. I don't think that is even more important. I don't think that's important. So what do you want to understand about the other person really, that you feel that you can understand without even them sharing anything?
So that I know if whatever we are doing actually is meaningful.
Yes, you can't know if it's meaningful without engaging them. You can't know that.
Maybe you can.
How?
There's Jordan Peterson. There's a place where he says maybe you're trying to advise somebody, or you're trying to
far from advice.
No, there's something which I'm trying to establish. It's like when people stop, when people aren't listening, you stop talking. No matter if you're true. So I can also paint a picture that if I can come to understand that the other party isn't willing to kind of their motives can't allow for me and them to come to, or rather build something which is meaningful, then there is no use for me to indulge in such an activity.
Just like you've said, it has to be them expressing. You can't understand their motives if they don't engage with you. You cannot.
Yeah.
I think that is, sometimes, but as we evolve this conversation, I think silence in itself. Maybe you're alone in the house. I think I'd say for me, the most difficult thing to do is being silent.
For me, actually, recently I found it to be quite soothing and quite an interesting thing to just be silent.
The reason why I'm saying it's the most difficult thing to do, it's because my mind is like a war. Yes, I have actually scheduled time where I just get to think. I'm just silent, but I think a lot.
Yeah.
Thoughts flood. This thought comes in.
Like
this
an
one
automatic thing
exactly
happening in your mind.
So sometimes I normally ask myself, because after that scheduled time, the same thoughts keep recurring
Again and again.
So the only time that they do not recur is when I'm doing other activities that involve me interacting with someone else. No.
That's nice.
But I'm always like, is it that I cannot silence those thoughts? I'm also asking myself, what's the whole point of silencing thoughts? Does that mean that you are sort of blocking them from happening in whatever way they do?
No.
Or what exactly?
For me, I've come to understand, like in my scenario, those thoughts are just but a noise. It's like they're hiding one view of this world, if which you could have come to light of it, or rather view the world through that view. You could have actually seen things for what they are.
Actually, I need to also define the kinds of thoughts that I normally have.
Mm-hmm.
I ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
If a certain thought occurs to me, the next thing I find myself doing is asking questions. So you're trying to understand. There's this concept in, I think, neuroscience known as metacognition. It's thinking about thinking. So I normally find myself, so say I have an idea that I want to implement in my business. Idea imekuja. I will now start asking myself, is this idea even legit? Is it authentic? What's to that idea that I've conceived that should matter to a point of me bringing it to life?
Why
should it even matter? Those kinds of questions.
Yeah.
So there's a spiral that always leads me down to a certain loop that I think the way it has worked for me, the more I ask those kinds of questions, the more clarity I get on certain concepts.
Yeah, true.
But
and I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say, this is something I'm proposing, which I think has to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Through you asking such questions, you start becoming an observer.
Yes.
To the things you're doing.
Yes. There's something I read somewhere. It says that we really do not learn from defining words. We actually learn from observation. Yeah. And I think the whole corpus of asking questions and asking questions is truly about observing. So you're trying to look at probable events, probable causes and effects.
Jordan Peterson has ever said that you need to be like it's your mind. You're going through the thoughts and finding a goal which is hidden inside the place.
Yes, and that is exactly what happens in silence. And that's meditation. The thing that we really do not do. We really do not do. It's the most difficult thing to do.
For me, I'd say we have come to such a point in time where it's like whatever we do is so automatic that we never really question.
We even do. Yeah, we don't question. True.
Why?
I agree.
We are not observing our daily lives from a point of an observer, not a participant.
Yeah. And the moment we sit in stillness, in silence, that is when we meet ourselves. I think we all have those experiences where the experience of life just places you in a position
like in a
where
cocoon.
you're alone, where you're forced to think.
Yeah, but
That's the scariest point to be in. I think that is why many people would
can't
rather
you say that's guilt?
Sorry?
It's like a guilt you could corner.
Yeah, guilt is one of those experiences. But generally speaking, I think in trying to make sense of your life, it will really demand you sitting in silence and thinking.
So
Socrates said, I can't teach you what to do. I can only teach you how to think. I think that's a function of silence.
Even as we build it up, when you come to the religious texts, is it Psalm verse 40, I think 20? It says, "Be still and know."
Yeah, be still and know that I am God.
You're not being told to find the solution.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And maybe the solution is that stillness itself.
Yeah. But remember, I told you that your motive of wanting to find the solution will ruin it. In this,
but if we're thinking of solution as a consequence of something that is likely to happen,
stop thinking
there's more to solutions. Actually, that thinking in itself could be a solution.
I'm not refuting that fact. But when, let's say, I sit in silence, and my primary motive is to find a solution, I'll then go back again in my thoughts.
Yes,
but
now let me ask: how do you preconceive the motive of a solution? How do you exactly do
it's
that?
Like you're looking for the next chance to get out of your miserable situation which you are in. That's why I'm saying.
So the whole point of silence and stillness is to just allow things to flow
to happen
without trying. What if a solution tries to pop up?
Observe it. The more you want to get out of the solution, the more you're stuck in it. That's how addiction functions. It's like the guy who is addicted, let's say, to coke or drugs, just wants another high to stop feeling miserable about themselves. They want the next solution. You see, they want the next solution to get out of the current situation which they are in. So, can you say...
that's a definition of solution that is very contextual.
I'm trying to paint a picture where you wanting to get out of situations, or you jumping to the next solutions or the next fix without observing them. If that's your primary drive, your fixes and your solution end up generating more problems.
I remember there's something we spoke with Alex jana tukienda some site visit mahali. Unapata so about the hustle culture. Most of us are so interested with getting a job, and we're also so interested in pursuing careers, pursuing happiness, pursuing money. But there's something it's as if we normally miss. I think this is also a function of the distraction, the deliberate distraction that our world has formed.
We can come to call it noise.
Yes, actually it's noise. It's noise. But then again, so it doesn't mean that you shouldn't look for jobs. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't chase after money or happy. It doesn't really mean that. But there's something more fundamental that's actually a paradox.
What if it is really true that you shouldn't chase after money?
Yes, that might be the case. But the point we were trying to make is you find that so for example, you're employed and you feel like your job in unafanya, it makes sense. You're looking for another job. There are very many things that we do not consider. Yes, now we're looking for solutions to satisfy our needs. I agree with that. But allow me. But unapata, if we were able to be still and consider that particular moment, now in this case, in context, that particular job, we try to think of the best way that this job can give us more meaning and more fulfillment. I think most of our troubles could be answered.
Yeah.
Because how it actually works, that's the paradox I think that the Bible paints from time to time, almost all the time, yeah? So ile kutosheka, ile kukaa hapo and thinking, actually getting to a point that you decide to own that job.
I got this from Alep here. There was a time tulikuwa natoka Timbili. Then we were talking and then he was like, one of the big changes of my thinking, ilikuwa point where he realized that being kutosheka with wherever you are and whatever you have, as in it's like an eye opening to your next thing.
That's the very ingredient to your next big thing.
Yeah.
Lakini unaona ile we can give examples of what kutosheka means. So for example, you find that maybe you're deviating or you're not doing your responsibilities in that particular job. You're not even doing what it takes to do that particular job.
I think
so unapata your own life, it's just, let me say, iko so unstructured. Unaamka tu unaenda, the way you even engage in it, it's just so soulless.
Yeah, man.
It's so emotionless.
Inafika
kazi ni kucomplain, kazi ni kucomplain at it's not enough, I need more.
You get the more, you need more.
Yes.
You see,
and those are the indicators that
it's a loop of life most of us are in.
But ile to deliberately actually say that this is all I've got and this could be the solution, so you decide to own it.
Stop even thinking about it as a solution. It's more of, this is what I got,
so I need to make the best of it.
Yeah,
true.
Remember even the CEO of NVIDIA, when
Jensen.
he was being asked about whatever young people should do about their lives. But have you ever come to
fail as many times?
He said that even if you wash dishes, do it as the best thing you've ever done. It's like they don't teach you to look for what you love, rather find love in whatever you do.
Absolutely, that is very, very profound.
Yeah,
absolutely. So especially kwa hii hustle culture, I think that is, Ali, in the episode that we had with him, Ali mentioned something very profound. Alisema sisi kama Gen Z, we want the world but we don't want to pay the price. And I think part of paying the price ni hiyo kutosheka mahali yuko, making the best out of it, because that is the very thing that is going to launch you to the next big thing.
At the moment where you're talking about that being still, many of us see it as failure and think of that period as failure. I think that's the problem, and we think because you're in that situation, you are a failure.
Absolutely.
I think that's the bias most Gen Zs have.
We have, sure. But they to just pause and to consider
remember
different options.
in a world of noise, kwanza in the recent past increased sana. So unapata the more the noise, the more unstable people are. It's like wewe kutoka 0 to something, you can do it within a day.
Yes.
Yet
Elon Musk alisemanga, think of what you want to achieve in 10 years time and then ask, how can I achieve that in 6 months?
The thing is, we are at a point in time where going ama kukua that you are in shackles, that enyewe umelemewa, and wewe ku make it can happen. It's a possibility that can happen within a short period of time.
Absolutely.
I think we don't know how to handle that.
Now,
that's what's ruining mostly the Gen Zs.
The Gen Zs.
Because saizi kitambo ilikuwaga uende shule upate job ndo ukwe successful.
It makes sense.
But saizi there are many hustles which you can do that yenye you can scale up haraka sana. Now you see there is something which you posted that the many array of choices yenye ina present unto life in itself, it's like a curse. Many choices which can make you great at a short period of time. I think that's what Gen Zs are facing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we are establishing the fact that it's important to integrate the whole system a concept of stillness
and noise. First of all, let us discern what noise is. What noise is.
Yes, it's important. It's important. But I'm still thinking, because noise could be very, very subjective. What might be noise to you might not be noise to me. I think there are definitive characteristics of what noise could be.
That's just... I've come to realize that this is quite heavy, but this world, I'm sorry to say, but that it doesn't care about your perspective.
Yes, it doesn't, but that's what the reality is.
Yes, Katai, that's your perspective, but that's not reality.
That my noise could not be your noise.
Yeah. I'm saying that noise is noise, regardless of your perspective and my perspective.
We are not talking about personal perspectives. We are talking about how I can define noise is not how you would.
Now that's what I'm painting in the picture, that when we come to the defining things of life, doesn't happen like that.
Elaborate.
It's like you can't remember in our previous episodes, I painted this picture. It's like you don't have the right, it's not in your power to decide what's wrong or right.
Yeah,
we painted that picture.
Yes.
So it's like in the fabric of things, it's not your, now that you're putting your will, nikisikia watu when they mentioned about perspective, all I'm just getting is like, this is my will. So you can make sense.
Yeah, it does.
But in the grand scheme of things, it's about your will versus God's will. It's about either it's about good and bad and evil.
True.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that.
Truth is truth, regardless of what your perspective and my perspective.
But remember again, for you to truly understand, you need to go down a certain spiral. And that's going down a certain spiral. It's a process of defining the things that lead you to what truth is.
Yeah.
So that is why I'm also proposing that there are ways you can define noise. That is just not the way I could define noise, because it's not my reality. I don't know because it's true. Yeah, we all have different experiences, and how reality unfolds for you is not really how it unfolds for me.
Yeah.
And maybe, you see, those different ways in which realities unfold for every human being, I think that is also what leads us to understanding the common truth that all human beings also share.
Yeah, no. I want you, kuna something which you've painted. It's like your perspective of the truth and my perspective of the truth. So as long as we are going this, searching for it, it's like it's leading us to alignment in one.
Yes.
That's
I will agree with that.
Not according to your perspective and not according
to... It's not, nope. Yeah. It's that journey itself.
Yeah, but
so that journey, is noise itself. The reason why I say that noise is very, very subjective, that how you will interpret it is not how we'll interpret. It's because you have to define noise. You just have to.
Yeah, but
for you to understand if it's noise in the first place, you just have to define it.
What I was trying to paint is in the, let's say in the highest point in the hierarchy. It's like we come to alignment of each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. But before we get there, we have to define what noise is to you and what noise is to me.
Yeah, true. I agree.
But
can't you say that's what paves way for free will? It's like you're in this uko kwa hii place yenye it can be defined in many ways that they are not
If you mean that you can also choose to define what noise is.
No, you can't choose. It's like yenyewe ina could lead to a pool of an array of many things.
Well, there's that, but you can also choose to define. That is why I'm saying it's highly subjective, and it might also be highly contextual.
Yeah, true.
Noise in one aspect of life could not be noise in another aspect of life.
I don't agree with that. For me, I'd put it like this. Tunaongelea, we were talking about noise. Now let's come to signal. This is borrowed from Cavill.
O'Leary.
Yeah.
Ile story of
The
Steve Jobs.
noise to signal ratio. For me, I'd say it's like noise is constant, but signal, it's like it's something which is can't be put ni kitu yenye haiwezi kuwa exhausted.
I will quickly interject. Well, the reason why I'm saying that is if you have to define noise, it means then there's a context to which you can know what noise is. For example, there are certain ways of thinking. There are certain ways of thinking you can apply in the pursuit of faith that you just can't apply in science.
Nah, for me,
let me explain what exactly I mean. Yeah, science does not try to explain anything that faith tries to explain. Science is more interested with, it is highly defined. I'm not saying faith is not, faith is also highly defined in its own scope, but science is highly limited to materialism, the physical, let me just say the physical universe. So there's no way science can suggest things that are not within the scope of the physical. All right. Yes, we can use philosophy. Philosophy in itself is a way of thinking that is subjective. I think that is part of the scope of what faith tries to deal with. Yes, there's some data that science can propose that seems to correlate with the scope and the spheres of philosophy, faith, etc.
For me, I can say science only confirms what is known in the spheres of faith and philosophy.
Yes, it just confirms, but it doesn't explain them. It doesn't explain
them. I agree. Remember these mathematicians who said that it took 30 years to discover that you can't explain a supreme natural being through science and mathematics, because it is consciousness which created this
science and mathematics.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Totally agree.
So that is what I'm saying. You see, there are contexts where you need to define noise.
Yeah.
There are contexts where you really, really need to define noise. So that is why I'm also proposing that unapata all the experiences that we normally have are very unique in their own sense. And how one person could define noise in those contexts is not it's not the exact blueprint that someone else can use or should use.
But if they are aiming at the same thing, yes, they're different, but they seem to be in
Do we really aim for the same thing as mankind? What does even aiming for the same thing even mean?
That's why I post with the, as in, if we are aiming for the same things. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
so. I think now we can.
We have painted a picture about what noise looks like.
Yes, we've even talked about stillness and illustoria pausing, and I was also thinking to myself, some of the ways that we can also know how to pause is if there's something that truly eats at us, ile unscheduled time. You have things that are not scheduled. I believe that is very, very dangerous. It can help organize noise. It can help structure it. It can even help understand it. So we can also think of stillness.
Can we think of our daily endeavors of life as noise?
Yes. But the moment that we have already structured them, the moment we've structured all that noise, all these distractions, because I think they have become part of us. So work is noise. Checking emails is noise.
Not is noise. It's like something which you come to realize for yourself.
What do you mean?
It's like ushaifanya kitu for long alafu tu siku moja tu unakaa chini unajiuliza mbona nafanyaga hivi.
Yes.
Mbona nikiamka ni kama lazima niamke ni check hivi. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like it's a discovery you come.
But realize you will have to discover if you do some of those things.
Yeah.
Let me just say, ni kama our experience is an integration of these distractions and those moments where we are able to pause and think and consider possibilities. It's like an integration of the two. Because we can't be devoid of scrolling through social media. We can't entirely say that we can't scroll through social media. We can't say that we can't.
You can.
Yes, you can, but there's a huge risk to it. So Mokwele, assuming you're a business person, and maybe part of your work depends on you checking your emails from time to time.
What if I say, for me, actually me nimekuja kuona these among businessmen who keep on checking.
I'm not saying you keep on checking. You structure the time you need to check. That is why I'm saying you structure the unstructured things about your experience.
You can see that as noise.
Or what exactly can you say as noise?
The need for information. Let's say you are an entrepreneur.
But again, you can't devoid yourself of that need. You cannot. That is why I'm proposing it's, you see, true stillness, a true pursuit, a true understanding is some sort of an integration between hiyo noise yote, hiyo distraction yote, and the anti-version of it, which is being still, pausing, considering possibilities, thinking about things. Unaona? So the moment the two integrate.
Also remember, for me, I'm not going for integration. 4 disciplines of execution. They talk about 80-20. It's like you give 80% of your energy to
doing 20% of your things. That is simply integration.
No, 20% you do it for like now the noise the kid has got to be picked.
That is integration.
Yeah.
That is integration.
Okay.
That is integration. Unaona? Because tukiamua tukae tu hivyo just stillness and thinking we can drown in our thoughts.
But pia huwezi sema you can come to like through that you can come to agree that teme kama ni something like going for your kid to school nini. That's not noise. Because it's something meaningful.
That's a necessary event that has to happen in experience.
Not has to happen. As in, that's not noise to you.
Yeah, that's not noise. Yeah. That's not noise. So it's like simply saying, once you're able to identify noise, so however you can define it, and it seems to me the common thing about noise is that it's simply something that makes us not fully achieve our potential, fully achieve our capacities. And at the same time, we are thinking about capacities, not in terms of careers, not in terms of families, not in terms of marriages, relationships, business, the pursuit of happiness. Or we are not thinking in those terms. We are actually trying to establish why exactly do we need to have families? Trying to answer those kinds of questions. Why exactly do we need to work? Why exactly do we need to venture into business? Why exactly do we need to...
We now becoming observers.
Exactly. You could observe, not just doing things for the sake of doing things. Yeah. It's as if that reality in itself, our reality, the way we are built, we are actually built to define these things. Because if we just follow...
That's our nature.
Yeah. If we just follow social constructs, at some point in life, maisha tu inakuwekanga kwa position yenye inakukula in ways that sasa una realize yenyewe kusema kweli I'm not mentally stable.
This was not meant for me.
This was not meant for me. Exactly.
Alafu pia remember, I think this is a caution unto us. Vile tulisema pia rebelling against it. Najua somebody young might look and asema hapa hivi imeramba watu wengi sana. So mimi ni kama, you see, as in learn pia to observe how you rebel against these things.
So I think the one thing we can truly establish in this nini be still. You just observe
everything.
learn how to think. Just learn how to think. Do not, and one way that we can learn how to think,
I can actually say si ati napingana na hiyo, but there are these guys who actually, where does thought come from?
that is something we can discuss in the next episode. Yes, that is something I wanted to also mention. But I think we can truly agree that in all our pursuits, let us integrate the system under the concept of just being still, pausing, thinking differently. We don't know how to think, so we can ask people as well. We can share our thoughts with people. And unaona ile unlearning the things that we've learned. Ama ile unfounding the things that we think we've founded ama understood.
And
shattering all those considering options and stuff like that.
Also, let's come to the realizations of our motives in life, in everything we do.
And that is only possible in stillness.
Mbona nimeamka, nimeenda job.
Next episode.